What you got, Jim?
I got another one of your smallmouth, Rick.
Why you keep doing
putting me
that?
on the fish. You know what? I appreciate it. You can catch one every once in a while, but I do certainly appreciate it. What a pig!
That's a
what
pig,
a
Jim.
pig! I thought it was snagged. I thought I was snagged.
Nice job. What are we gonna do now?
We're gonna get some more, dude. Look at that, and I got that one on a DT16. You know, it isn't all about spoon plugs or blade baits. It's whatever it takes to do the job.
Nice job, Jim.
Nice job, Rick. Hey, Rick, what do you got there?
Here we go. Got another nice fish on the cast.
On the
The edge of the Delphine Channel.
Beautiful.
Let's go get some more.
Let's go get some more. Rick, give us a wrap for today.
The wrap for today. It was a tough day. We had a cold front going last night, and we went out and, I don't know, worked as best as we can. We had a what, northeast wind?
Well, we had a northwest wind to start.
Northwest wind to start. Had a wind shift, and we got 42.
42.
We got 42.
But we got some big ones, didn't we?
We got some big ones. You got a big pike, which was really nice. We got a couple of walleyes nice and early on the hump. And then we just kind of picked them off. Same thing. Went and found some breaks on structure and cast at them. I'd say more than half came casting, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, more than half came casting. Found them trolling. More than half came casting.
Excellent. Rick, another nice job. Way to go.
All right.
One more day.
One more day.
One more half day. All right, let's get them.
Let's get them. What you got there, Jim?
Boy, you keep putting me on them. I keep hooking them. Oh, that's a nice fish. That's a nice fish, isn't it?
Nice fish. What are you throwing?
I'm throwing a big rattle trap.
Big rattle trap.
I'm using it like a blade bait. Just jerking it up.
Nice fish, Jim.
Nice fish. Hey, thank you again, Rick. Great job of putting me on the fish.
All right.
Much appreciated. What are you weighing there?
Max. You got a nice little smallmouth.
How big?
.504.
504. Beauty, beauty. Rick, I know that you're tired. You had a long day. You've had a long 3 days.
I've been in the boat with Jim Duplex. Oh,
Yeah.
hey.
Well, I know that is a treat, but the hard part was probably the weather. But so what's your impression? This is your first time out here.
Yeah, this is a great classic situation of just doing basic spoon plugging, following the procedures, going out there and working it, finding the structures, trolling, and going to the cast and catching a bunch of fish.
What particular depth was most productive?
Most productive for us was about 8 feet.
8 feet.
Yeah.
And what was your approach? What were you casting, trolling? Was it one or the other, or what?
So we trolled to find some breaks on some structure, and that's what held the fish, which were rock and rubble.
Rocks and rubble.
Yeah.
Okay. How about speed? What was the speed that we were catching fish at?
We were trolling around 2 to 3, and then we'd just go to the cast and we throw the buddy and jump it. So it was fairly quick.
What other lures were we using besides?
We used crankbaits. We used tube jig. What else did we use?
We had rattle traps.
We had rattle traps.
Yeah.
Sure.
And how about spoon plugs? Did you use spoon plugs?
And I trolled with the spoon plug pretty
Okay.
much all weekend. Yeah.
Yeah,
Caught
very
fish on that.
Yeah, very productive on that.
Yep.
So, you're going to be back?
I think so. Maybe next weekend. No.
Well, Rick, nice job. Excellent. Nice job.
Thank you.
Got it. All right.
All right, Jim, what do you got there?
I got a fish.
Oh,
Got a
yeah?
fish, Rick.
You sure it's not a rock?
I'm
You sure?
It's a fish. It's bending that rod.
Looks like a nice smallmouth.
Smallmouth,
Ooh, nice
yeah.
smallmouth. Very nice smallmouth.
You know what, Rick? You keep filming. I'll net this puppy.
Yeah. That's a nice fish, Jim. There you go. Oh, what'd you get that on?
Oh, I got this one. What'd you get yours on? Spoon plug?
I got mine on a spoon plug. What'd you get yours on? Oh, blade bait. Nice fish, Jim.
Nice fish. Well, Rick, you put me on the spot.
Again.
That's why I'm catching them.
Off is where? Top? Look at that.
How's that for a puppy?
That's beauty.
How's that for a puppy there, sir?
That's a nice fish.
Nice fish.
Nice.
Thank you, Rick.
Yes.
Thank you, Rick.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Rick.
Why don't you tell us about this fishing trip?
Well, this is the third or fourth time that I've been out here, and each time I've been impressed by the fish population. We do a nice job catching smallmouth bass, but we also catch walleye. This year was a good year for walleye. Good year for muskie, even though we didn't catch any this year. In the past, we've caught some big muskies. We caught, we did catch one muskie. We caught one small muskie. We caught largemouth bass. We caught northern pike. You even caught a perch, which you were pretty impressed by, which nobody else would be, but it was okay. But, and I think what most impressed me is the quality of the fishermen up here. And by that I mean people who follow the spoon plugging guidelines. And you yourself are a good example of that, because this is your first time out there, and you drove the boat. And you made most of the decisions on where we were going to troll and where we were going to anchor and cast. And I'll tell you what, that's a hell of a thing to be able to do the first time out. Just like Seth being able to do it out there. So that's the key. But it's all based on what Buck taught us. So we're really doing nothing new out here except to follow the guidelines. And, you know, when you have that and you have people who share, the big thing is, we get together on the water, people are telling what depth they're catching the fish, where they're catching the fish, how they're catching the fish, and when they're catching the fish. How much better does it get than that? Who else does that?
All right, that's a wrap.
Good.
That's a beauty.
It's got to be another 4-pounder there.
Nice.
Thank you, Rick.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Rick.
All right. What do you got there, Jim?
I got another one.
How long has it been?
It's been about 30 seconds.
This was your second cast, right?
Second, yeah.
2 casts, 2 fish.
Let's get that puppy in there. Whoa. I'm fishing with the Rick.
There we go.
Fishing with the Rick.
All right.
All right, Rick, thank you. Rick?
You got another one.
Got another one. We got 2. Just got 2 from this spot.
You got 2 casts in a row?
Yeah.
That's another one.
Did you throw blade baits?
Yes, I caught a lot of fish on my 1-ounce Bales blade.
On the 1-ounce?
Didn't I, Brett?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We were throwing, what, half ounce or 3/4 ounce. Well, Seth, what were you throwing?
Well, I think it's a half ounce.
Half ounce.
Pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah, and I thought that personally, I thought that I was throwing the 1 ounce for just a little bit there. I thought it was too heavy.
It probably was an 8 foot of water,
Okay.
but in the channel it's not really.
In the channel, no. Okay. We're dealing with 20 feet of water,
Yep.
21 feet of water. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But we thought that in the areas that we were fishing 8 feet or whatever, that was perfect.
Yeah.
That was a perfect bait.
Well, the other thing too in the channel, if you're anchored on the break, you mostly want to cast along the break, not necessarily all the way into the channel. And so, if you cast onto the break with a half ounce and you jig 3 times, you know you're at 6. You're almost behind the boat.
It's gone.
And so, we tried to use, I used a 3/4 because I wanted to be a little lighter than John, but I thought about going to 1 ounce too. But he could throw that 1 ounce and bring it almost straight right along the brakes, all the way back to the boat, and not have the current affect it as much.
Yeah, the
In the
current.
deeper water.
Yeah, what did you think about the current this year, in terms of the different places that you fished, both the Delphi Channel and the shallower breaks that we were fishing? Did you notice? Did you notice the current change? We were stuck at one place where the current was going one way, and the wind was going another way, and
Yeah.
it was like it was hard to determine where you were going to throw your lure. So
Well, one day, about 90% of the time, or 80% of the time we were here, when we put the anchor down in the channel, the front of the boat was pointing to the north. Well, one day we put it down, the front of the boat was pointing south because the wind was overtaking the current.
Yeah.
And it would just turn the boat around.
yeah,
I like to have the wind blowing the same direction as the current, because I feel that if the current is completely maximized, it puts the fish in certain areas. I feel that when the current is obstructed by the wind, or there's a change, slows down the current, that the fishing is not as good. I like the current to be maximum. So I like the wind blowing the same direction as the current. Makes the fish bite better. It really does.
yeah.
I mean, I've seen it so many times.
Tell us what the weather was, John, Thursday and Friday.
Actually, I thought it was pretty daggone stable. Today we kind of had a little bit of a, yesterday afternoon with a little thunderstorm. But Johnny said the fish were on fire right after that. He said that's the best, that's the most he caught. He was burning them up, trolling jerkbaits. He's just all excited. And Brett and I caught the crap out of them after that too. They were on fire.
After you told me.
Bad break.
He asked somebody at the boat ramp at 9 Mile, how'd you do today? And the guy says, I only caught 2 smallmouth. So I told him to fish down by 9 Mile and troll down there 8 to 10 foot with a jerkbait. And he was afraid to do it because he listened to some dumbass that says he didn't catch any fish. So, you know, I told him not to pay attention to what other people say. It's okay to ask questions because you can learn something of value sometimes. But Brett and I, when we towed him back, we fished a couple of my spots down there where I got some rock piles, and it was just one fish after another, and I think we had 3 doubles in like 10 minutes. And they were on fire, man. And we left.
I do got a question for you guys though, because this happened to Fran and I today. We were trolling jerk baits. You know, we went a little deeper. We were up like 9 to 10, and all our fish were hitting on the back hooks. Everything was hitting on the back hooks. We didn't allow them to come unbuttoned right away. They hit it, and we set the hook and play them for a little bit. Boom, they come off. And
That's
so then we just started counting how many fish we had on the back hooks. And almost every fish we caught today, even the muskie, was on the back hooks.
What does that tell you?
Well, thought we were going too fast. We were going 2.5 miles an hour. So we slowed down to 2, and they were still hitting on the back hooks.
What does that tell you?
I don't know. That's what I'm kind of wondering. I'm kind of, because we weren't jerking at crankbaits that hard. You know, we thought we've snagged a few this weekend too, so we didn't know if they were missing it or if they were deliberately hitting short or what the deal was.
Well, it's telling you something, I think. John, we lost, unfortunately, admittedly, we lost a lot of fish today. We also caught a lot of fish where the blade or jerkbait was on the outside of the mouth. And they weren't in a great mood. That's all it tells you. Sometimes it does tell you speed, but if you're you start catching enough fish to see, you start to realize when you're missing fish at whatever speed. I mean, we were missing fish. We were hooking fish at the slowest speed possible, reeling in a swim bait like this slow. Get them hooked, have them on for 5 or 6 seconds, lose them. 2 days ago, we didn't lose those fish. So they were just in a negative mood today. They weren't in a great mood. There were shallower pockets, I think, where people caught numbers.
'Cause, I mean, we had a movement going. I forgot what time it was, but we were just in one rock pile. We were working back and forth, back and forth. It was just constant action.
And
So-
they weren't biting it short, probably.
No, they weren't. That's what we were wondering. Why are they hitting the back hooks? We expected them to just be pounding these baits and getting the front hooks, and the back hooks, whatever. And they'd cut them unbuttoned halfway back to the boat. They'd hit it right away and get off, and we're like checking our hooks to make sure they're sharp. What the heck is going on? I don't know.
Just weren't eating great today.
You know what? And Buck says you can cause that. You can make the fish strike. You're there, they're there. The lure is right there, but the weather conditions are so poor that they're forced to strike, but there's no enthusiasm in it. So it's just a real, it's a reaction thing, and it just says that you're in the right place, right time, right manner, and we had periods. I don't know about you guys, but didn't you have periods of flurries of activity?
Sure.
Where they were going pretty good.
Yeah.
And to me, that was they were turned
There
on.
were some dead times too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely some dead time.
Dead air today.
But it's a question of you put the lure right in their face and you force them to strike, but there's no intensity to it at all.
This is the greatest place for a new guy to fish a body of water, because there's so many fish that if you're doing things right, they will tell you. And that's the greatest thing to have, is a population of fish that'll let you know if you're doing things right. Muskies, walleyes, smallmouth, all pretty easy fish to catch, and millions of them out there.
Yeah.
And that's why we come here, because this place is special.
And if you want to, Rick and I were talking about, if you want to experience what spoon plugging is all about, okay, this is the place to come to. You can experience catching big fish, you can catch them casting, you can catch them trolling, you can catch them after you've trolled, anchoring and casting to them, catching multiple fish. And it's kind of like a testing ground, You come out here, am I doing it right? Well, the fish will tell you that you're doing it right. Can I troll and catch it? Can I find the breaks? Can I find the break lines? Can I cast to them once I found them? Can I throw markers?
I told Brett today, this is a place where you can basically catch fish this time of year any way you want to fish. Because there's fish in the shallows, there's fish in the deep, and they're spread out all in between. And it's just amazing.
Well, why then, John, do guys tell Seth that we only caught 2 today, while you and Brett caught 100 fish on the same day? Why did he only catch 2?
Knowledge is the key to fishing success. Maybe he didn't have much knowledge. That's why you got to be careful who you listen to.
Absolutely. Rick, what do you got there?
Nice smallmouth.
Got a nice smallmouth. I think that's number 16.
16.
16 for us in only a couple of hours.
Nice.
What are we going to do now?
Let's go get some more.
All right, that's what I like. What are we going to do?
Go get some more.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, Jim, what do you got there?
Boy, you put us on another big smallie there, Rick. Thank you very much. We're out here in 17 feet of water, casting just to the edge of the channel, fishing breaks. And you talk about having some fun. Hey, thank you, Rick. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. You know what I like to say? Let's go get some more.
All right.
Well, say, guys, what's the report?
All right, we're I guess what you call a feeder cut, and we have got 4 fish real quick, 5 on the base break.
How deep?
18 to 20
On the troll?
on the troll. We just had a double in the same spot we caught one earlier, and we casted it pretty good. And We didn't get any on the cast, so we're going back to troll to try and narrow them down more.
Okay, so you're fishing the base break line then?
Right now we are, yeah.
Yeah. What are you fishing with?
We're trolling crankbaits,
Crankbaits? All right.
kind of paw, jerk paws. We got a couple nice ones on the paws.
Okay. Forward and then pause. Sweep it forward, drop it back.
Yep.
All right. We're going to give it a shot.
Let's go get them.
Okay.
Get them.
So, Rick, yeah, what number is that?
This is number 3 or 4.
3 or 4? Yeah, from this spot.
This is
no, this is
number
number
4.
5 from this spot.
This is number 5 from this spot
this
because
spot.
I got 3. I got.
Yeah, nice. Nice. Let's keep them going.
Let's do it again.
What do you got now?
I think it's a little Walter.
A little walleye there,
Little
huh?
Walter on the buddy.
On the buddy.
Number 6 at this spot. And counting. What have we been here? 20 minutes?
Yep.
20 minutes or so on this spot?
So Rick, another one.
Another one.
Another one. Look who come over, try to get in, horn in on the action. Bales, heaven forbid. What do you got going there, Rick?
Got a little smallmouth.
Yeah, nice job.
Smallmouth on the 250.
On a 250 spoon plug, yeah. Bring that puppy in there. Oh yeah.
Nice little fish. Here we go, about 8:45 in the morning.
8:45, that's
This is
number what?
Number 4.
Number 4.
2 walleye, 2 smallmouth.
Yep. Nice job.
There's one more thing I'd like to say about this body of water. And Frank Hamill told me this about a lot of places. When you get something this great, and this is fantastic, it's one of the greatest fisheries in the country, you better take advantage of it because man will screw this up. And it won't take long. It is the greatest thing in the world, but man will screw it up. So take advantage of it.